Hello and welcome to ABC News. I'm Ros Childs. In his first major policy change since taking office, Scott Morrison has abruptly dumped plans to raise the pension age to 70. The coalition has been backing the unpopular idea for 4 years, but the Prime Minister has revealed Cabinet will formally scrap it next week, leaving the government and Labour with matching policies on the pension age. From Canberra, here's political reporter Caitlin Gribbin.
12 days in office and Scott Morrison's performed his first major backflip.
The retirement age will stay at 67. It will not go to 70.
Good morning, Prime Minister.
Gone is a policy he championed for 4 years, 3 of them as Treasurer.
The pension will be there and the retirement age will remain at 67. It's all about recognising the effort they've put in.
It hasn't even been formally signed off, but Scott Morrison says his colleagues are on board with the sudden abandonment of coalition policy.
I think if you're a tradie or a brickie or a shearer in rural and regional Australia, you don't want some suit in Canberra telling you that you've got to work until you're 70.
The pension age will now increase to 67 in the next 5 years, which is what Labor lifted it to, and the decision will neutralise debate on the issue. The opposition's repeatedly attacked the government, arguing a higher pension age would be especially tough on people in physically demanding jobs.
So Scott Morrison wrote it, backed it in for the last 3 years. Labor opposed it for the last 3 years. Now Mr Morrison's temporarily borrowing Labor policy.
I call the Honourable the Treasurer.
It's yet another reversal of a policy announced in the controversial first budget of the Abbott government.
The age of entitlement is over.
Then Treasurer Joe Hockey was trying to help fund the cost of the ageing population.
This government will gradually increase the age of eligibility to 70 by 2035. That's over 2 decades away.
The Senate has refused to ever agree to legislation to formalise the change, but until today the government had stuck to the policy.
I believe that that measure is no longer necessary.
It's hard, back-breaking work, what a lot of our people do, and I think being told that they're going to have to work until 70, I think was probably a step too far.
It is a mistake and it does overturn what's a courageous decision. You usually see governments move to do this sort of thing early in their term, early after they're elected for the first time.
There will be questions about the affordability of this backdown, but it also demonstrates Prime Minister Morrison is a pragmatist and heavily attuned to the politics of the pension issue. He's made the big call with about 8 months to go before his date with destiny with voters. Caitlin Gribbin, ABC News, Canberra.